Good morning, everybody. This is the first time for me visiting this temple, and I'm also very happy. I'm very glad to see all of you and spend a few minutes, about 20-25 minutes of advice, sharing with you, and taking all this kind of advice from the Buddha's teachings. So as a young couple, it is a long journey. For what? For long life and a long-term interest is very important. So in Buddhism, this is a tradition we share actually. I'm from Myanmar, but we share the same tradition. Therefore, we have the same procedures. So according to Buddha's teachings, each individual has responsibilities toward one another. As children and parents, as husband and wife, and to friends, each other, we have all different responsibilities. And then for you, mutual responsibilities toward one another. First of all, your parents have lived their lives and they are living. But you have your life right now. You are setting up your own family life. This means like priority is given to both of you. And you are both responsible. This means you share all the responsibilities for your life. Here is what the Buddha said. As a husband, he has 5 responsibilities. You can remember that. Whenever he doesn't do it, remind him. Or call us, okay? Call us. You see, so 5 responsibilities. The first one is always respect your wife. It doesn't matter how much you know about her in and out. It doesn't mean you don't have a respect. That's the Buddha's advice. In Burmese, we say, Mate Mekin, respect your wife. That's the Buddha's advice. Okay, that's the first responsibility, first duties toward your wife. And then also give her authority in terms of household management. She is the boss at home, okay, including your finance. So accountability, transparency, and openness. There's no secret between you guys. Nothing. So one of them, he said it, never telling lies. Never. Even small things. You're not going to hide anything. That's according to Buddhist teaching, as well as according to the need of all couples all over the world. Nobody is happy when they find out that somebody is telling lies. Right? That's the fact. So it's about your life. It's nothing about religion. But this comes from the Buddha's teachings. Right? So respect your wife and then give her authority. Mostly our mothers, right? Wives to our fathers. They know every detail. They are very close to their own children. All detailed needs, they have much information. Therefore, the reason behind that is that she should have authority. So like every time she wants to spend, she cannot call you out. Hey, I'm going to spend this money, that money. No. She should have her own authority to make her own decision. Whatever household needs, however children, or some needs, they can decide. They have a full authority, like you are going to be supporting and the financially, emotionally as well. This is the financial matter. Anne Osa in Burmese. Anne Osa may hand over, okay, this is how much money I made. Let her know. She doesn't like that you keep somewhere over there. No. Nobody likes that one. Trust. You are building trust by handing over or by letting her know how much money you are making. That's according to Buddha's teaching. This teaching, 2,600 years old, still very modern in the modern marriages. Not only for Buddhist community, all couples. Openness and transparency, again, is very important. So Anni also hand over, let her know. Mesa Mama, the other one, be faithful. Kame Sumichajara Vira Madisika Badan Samadhiya. Never chasing after, never following after someone other than your wife. That's it. No second one. According to Buddhist teaching, of course, that's the ideal. But you have to put this idea into your practice. Okay? So I know things happen in real life, but we don't want these things happening. Once you have chosen someone like her, that's for life. That's it. Right? So be faithful. Fidelity. Betrayals, unfaithfulness, these are the cracks. Later, the whole building will collapse. All the collapsing of the building begin with the cracks over there. Collapse of the marriages begin with distrust, losing the trust. So the Buddha knew this very well. This is the practical life, right? Be faithful, that responsibility. Be faithful to your wife, whether in front of her or away from her, it doesn't matter. Wherever you go, business trip, anywhere you go, she is the only one for you. That's it. I know she's happy about that. Okay, it's very, very important. And without saying the fourth responsibility, usually men psychologically they don't really care about detailed beauty stuff, but women do. Women do. They want to be beautiful. They want to beautify themselves. So here's the Buddha's advice: never forget to make her surprise and to give some kind of gifts. That's the Buddha's advice. That's the Buddha's advice. Never forget to this is an anniversary, how far we have come. Here, I appreciate that we are together. So this is the gift. Appreciation of being together and taking care of our family, so you can express. That's the Buddha's advice. Right? So, Matemakin, Ane Osa, Mesa Mama, without saying clothing, beauties, anything she needs. You are responsible. That's what I know. She liked that one too. Okay, I know that. Okay, so remember that. Okay, write down. Yeah, keep it in your diary. Okay. You see that? So the last one is very important too. Okay, Matemakin, Aniosa in Burmese, in the respect, let her have her own authority to make household decisions and everything, at least, over there. It's very important. Be faithful, that's your responsibility. And then never forget to buy her some kind of gifts, anniversary, whatever. You guys know more than we do. We monks are just giving advice, okay? Always kind, even when you get upset, you are angry, but your language should not contain any tone of anger. Okay? I know everybody is not sane. I understand that. But it's very important for your responsibility. That's a husband's duties towards his wife. Then my question is, are you really ready? But you're ready or not, it's already there. Okay, so you are committed to her. Not only physically, but also in terms of duties and responsibilities. Never forget about that. These are basic things. Ancient teachings are always modern. You are going to benefit a lot from this advice. If you follow this one, you don't need to go to any marriage counselor. Just follow these 5. Very simple, cost effective. You don't need to waste your time. You don't need to waste your money. My husband, anger management. You don't need to go anywhere. Just follow this advice, okay? Now, you remember that. Hopefully you remember. If you don't, she will. Okay? If you don't, she will. Now, your responsibility also is 5. It's very important. Okay? The first one in Burmese we call Ain Duen Mu Lo. As women mothers are always busy with their own household things and children, right? So this means a housewife should be very diligent and skillful in household duties. It doesn't mean This is only her duties. If you have extra time, you should be ready to help her. Share responsibilities, primarily on her shoulders. But you are away from home, she will be with the kids and many things at home, right? So she knows that. Come back over there, still, in the level of doing something, many things at home over there. You have extra time, help her. Just don't be a couchman over there, having popcorns and watching TV. Wives are very busy out there. You should consider that empathy. You put yourself into her positions, how busy she is, right? So for her, household duties, that's your primary responsibilities. Not the only, the entirely your responsibility, but primary responsibility falls on your shoulder. Diligent and skillful. Okay? So, and also make sure that second responsibility, make sure that your husband let you know how much money he earns at the account or anything over there. Whenever he wants to know how much money is left, how much money has been spent, you should be super ready to be accountable. You see? So explain to him, okay, this is how much we spend, because you are financial manager, you are financial authority over there. Sometimes he might wants to know, right? Mostly they don't care. As long as the family is doing good, everybody in the family is happy, they just keep focusing, okay, I'm going to make sure, okay, my entire family is in a decent roof, have a, very good life, something like that. Major focus like that, right? So sometimes, occasionally they might want to know for many other reasons, okay? Mostly family, interest and security, financial security, they might want to know, so you should be ready. So instead of, why are you asking me? You don't trust me? Don't tell like that one. Not because he doesn't trust you, but because he might have different other reason to know. Then you should be very happy to explain, hey, this is how much is left, how much we are making to get the money, how much we spend for our family. That's accountability and being accountable. According to Buddha's teachings, it doesn't come from modern marriage counseling, no. This comes from the Buddha's teachings, which is very useful, very valuable, So, and the Burmese way, right? The material anils are, make some again, be faithful. He is the only husband in your life, that's it. Thick and thin, low and high, ups and downs, really doesn't matter. He is the one. You are going to be together for the rest of your life. That's it. And then advice to him, also the same thing. Never. You are away from your husband, wherever you go, million miles go, but he is the only one. That's it. For any under circumstances, you are never going to change. You are never going to look beyond your husband. He is never going to look beyond his wife. That's you. So mutual faithfulness, mutual fidelity is never one-sided. In Buddhist teaching, always a middle part, Majjhima Paripura, and fair and square, balance. Okay, that's the third one, right? This one is away from, staying away from infidelity. This means being faithful. Now you have two families, two parents, two and one. Two parents treat as one. No discrimination at all. Whether your brother, your sibling, or his brother, his sibling, his relatives, his parents, your parents, doesn't matter. They are one. They are parents. Sometimes maybe they are visiting your home. Right? Treat them with equal respect, equal generosity. This means Buddhism does not accept discrimination either. No discrimination at all, especially both sides of relatives and parents. Right? So equal distribution of, generosity or wealth, whatever you can, and then you are going to be very equal, very fair. And this is a lot of couple have problems. And then parents should also understand that, okay, let them have their own life. So we just sit and watch. If something, seems to be not right, then parents are going to come into your, help or something. And then we have here Buddhist monks and anything. You can individual privately. You don't want to say everything what happened between you guys. Therefore, you privately visit the Buddhist temple. Here he is monk, and then we are here. So either way, you can seek advice instead of going to marriage counseling or whatever. Hopefully, you're not going to have that because you are going to follow 5 responsibilities yourself, and then she is going to follow also. And then the other one is, as a household or housewife, they should be always alert and active. This means don't be indolent. In simple English, don't be lazy. That's very plain English. Imagine the housewife doesn't do anything, she's lazy. The whole house will be so messy. So messy. It doesn't mean you are going to do only this one by yourself. If husband has time, extra time, he should be helping as well. And the housewife appreciate that. So now you remember your 5 responsibilities, right? So if you don't, he will. Okay, remind each other. Remind each other, hey, this Venerable monk said this one. Why you don't follow? Instead of saying this one, hey, we learned this one. We get advice from Buddhist monks, which is very valuable. And then we can benefit a lot from this advice, saving a lot of time and money because you don't need to go to any marriage counseling. Definitely, you are going to have arguments in your life, but that argument is not the way to separation. That argument is the way to understanding. You know what I mean? The way to understanding. So according to these responsibilities and Buddhist teachings, according to Buddhist teachings, so mutual respect, mutual fidelity. Now, how are you going to tolerate each other? Because nobody is a saint, nobody is an arhat, right? You are going to have sometimes occasionally get upset, but be careful your tone. Even when you get upset, you have a frustration, some stress from work or whatever, you're not going to explode this anger in front of your wife or husband. No, you're not going to do that. Don't bring all those kind of work-related stress and anger to your wife or to your husband. A lot of things happen at those homes, right? So, choose 4 types of wives and husbands. According to Buddhist teaching, you should be either one of them. That's the last advice. According to Buddhist teaching, I want to share. The first type of wife is the motherly wife. In Pali, Matu Sama Bhariya. Bhariya is a wife in Pali language. Matu is a mother. Don't think he is very mature. Sometimes men behave like a baby because they grew up with their mothers. Then at that time, wife should play the role of mother. Treat husband as your own child. As your own son. That's what I call motherly wife. Okay, that's very important. Matu Sakha Bhariya. The wife, yes, but sometimes, wives play the role of mother. They remember how their mothers treated them. At that time, you are there. That's a very important. That's a Buddha's advice. Emotionally, it's very valuable. A lot of people miss out this one because they don't even sit down and learn the Buddha's teachings. But fortunately, you are here learning. Matu Sakha Bhariya. Remember that. Motherly wife. That's very important. Then the other one. Sisterly wife. Yes, husband and wife. But not all the time husband and wife. Sometimes you are his sister. You're his sister. Treat your husband like your own brother that you truly love or something. Normally, basically, siblings are supposed to be getting along and love one another and be united, right? In that sense, I'm talking. So treat your husband as your own brother. That is the time they need it. They play around, they joke around, that's the way. So the Buddha's advice, this second type of wife, motherly wife, Matu Sakha Bhariya, sisterly wife, Bhikini. Bhikini means sister. Sama is the same like. Bhariya is a wife. Okay, then the other one is Sakhi Bhariya. Sakhi Bhariya means friend wife. Friend wife, not frenemy, okay? Some people are called friends, but they are enemies. Frenemies, okay? Not frenemies. Friend, wife. So you are not only being a wife, but you are also a very faithful friend to him. You are going to treat him as a true friend in need. A friend in need is a friend indeed, right? That's very important. Then the last type of wife is Dasi Sama Bhariya. Dasi, helper. Sama means helper like wife. So you help him. That's a mutual, not only one way. Pitu Sama, Samiko. Pitu Sama means fatherly husband. You have to treat her like a father. They grew up with their father. Most of daughters, the apples of their father's eye. You remember that, how their fathers treat them? Like mostly. So they remember that time when you are not treating her very well. She right away remember her father. It's always important. Remember that one. Okay, that's your own, mutual, right? You already remember a motherly wife. Now is a fatherly husband for him. Treat her like our own daughter. They remember their fathers. How their fathers treat her when she was young. It's very important. Okay, then how about the other one? Brotherly husband. Treat her like your own sister. You are not all the time husband and wife. Okay, so don't be so limited. Here's 4 options over there. 4 types. Brotherly husband, and the same thing. The other one is Sakhi, the Samiko. This means friends. Okay, friend husband, friend wife, friend husband. Treat your wife like your own lifelong friends. That's why I started saying long journey for long life and long terms of interest and happiness. That's Buddha's teaching right here. And then the other one is a helper. I already told you. Sometimes, housewife, they are very busy with the baby, children playing around, very messy. Then she might be cooking in the kitchen. You see all these things will pick up. Or, she will do not have this kind of attitude. If you can do all heavy stuff outside, small things that your children, spread around, you can take care. And then they will appreciate very much. Small things at home seems to be not heavy. It's mentally very exhausting at home. If men understand that, they are ready to share their responsibilities. So, 4 types of a husband and 4 types of wife. You can be either one of them. It will work. But a lot of people, unfortunately, know only one way. Okay, we are husband and wife. Okay, done. No. This is not the way, according to Buddhist teachings. Okay, whether this is the time for friendship, whether this is the time to treat one another as a brother and sister, whether this is the time to treat one another as a husband and wife, right? Whether this is the time to treat one another as a father and daughter or mother and son. These are the Buddha's advice. Imagine if you can go down, process, digest this information. You don't need any marriage counseling. Then the key point is mutual respect, emotional intelligence, we call EQ. A lot of marriage fall apart because they are not intelligent emotionally. They are so intelligent financially. They know how much money to make it. So smart, so intelligent to make a lot of money. But emotionally to treat each other, to keep this marriage for eternity, they fail. Lack of emotional intelligence. Let's say now, anger management. Right? Hopefully you don't need that one. You just remember very simple advice and very effective. Like I said, cost effective. It doesn't cost you anything. So emotional intelligence, mutual respect, fidelity, and understanding, all loves and care automatically will come over there. If you have those basic things, don't think too much over there. Oh, one marriage counseling session over the $200, $300. Oh my Buddha, can't believe it. Can't believe it. Why they doing this one? You don't need it. But the problem is they need it, of course, because they don't have this kind of advice in environment. I don't blame them, because we have different religion, different culture, backgrounds, understanding. A lot of people underestimate, religion, forget it. A lot of people have this kind of attitude. Because I need to go out and make money, that's the practical life. Religions, teachings, no, nothing. But at the same time, they need a lot of consultant, advisor, mentors, right? They have their own. Then the most important part of, spiritual, emotional, psychological counseling, they miss out. Therefore, they ignore the temples and Buddhist monks. They don't think the Buddhist monks are not valuable, not useful to their own marriage. But when you look at this information within like 20-25 minutes, I share. I have a lot to say actually. I just make it brief actually. So at the end, that will work for your lifetime. Just need to remember, right? So to learn it, remember it, and live it. So you already learned by listening. So you remember. Why? Because you want to live with these values. So you learn, but you don't remember. What is the purpose of learning? You can't even solve the simple math problem if you don't remember this math formula. Your teacher, your professor already gave you. Okay, this is a formula, you solve this math problem, but you don't remember. What kind of result you are going to get? The same thing. When you are sitting down in front of the Buddhist monks and whatever, and then you need to pay attention, learn, simple fact thing for Christ. Anytime you can call him up or call me, no problem. Anytime. For many other reasons, okay, not only this reason. We have a culture, tradition. After all here, all our Asian descendants are here. We are not necessarily racist, but this is the fact. Okay, we are not racist, but we, get along with everyone, every tradition and culture. But at the same time, we need to remember our own, where we come from. Here in America, identity is very important. Just because you make billions of money doesn't mean your identity. You don't need it, your own identity, cultural heritage is very important. That is coming up. Your new generation, children coming up, make sure they are properly educated in the modern set, scientifically and spiritually to us. Science and spirituality. A lot of people go by science, that's a problem. Because there are many things beyond science. Then Buddhism came in, hey, science doesn't explain this one. Here we explain this. Spirituality. Buddhist spirituality fill the gap where science has a huge gap over there. Then Buddhism is here to fill the gap, right? Science and spirituality, always. But their own spirituality and Western tradition, they already have their own problem because of scientific advancement, technology. They cannot verify most of what their tradition say. I know these things. And then they are openly saying in the academic institution, colleges and university, they already said, no, it doesn't work. Because they cannot find any connection. Like we are saying now, we are sitting down here sharing the Buddha's teaching. Your responsibility to find the connection from these teachings to your life. How they are connected. If you cannot find the connection, it's a bad cell phone. You cannot hear anymore. That's a big problem, right? But in Buddhism, it's easy because it's a matter of common sense. We always begin with the common sense, that's the lowest denominator. Okay, common denominator is the common sense right here. The lowest, not yet highest, right? We always begin with the common sense and go beyond, advance right there. So science and spirituality and marriage and harmony. And then for eternity of happiness. That is the Buddha's teaching I really want to share. Personally, I also want you to remember all these simple advice. So you don't need to make any appointment with any counselor over there. A lot of people are having problem. I know this one, social emotional problem, because most of problems are not financial. Most of problems are emotional problems. Emotional intelligence. Most of them are emotionally dumb. It means that if you say, oh, they don't have emotional intelligence, they are emotionally dumb. Intellectually they are smart, emotionally they are dumb. They don't know how to handle, how to keep this individual, this marriage together, right? So, in conclusion, we all personally, and we all wish you very happy, successful marriage, for eternity, and then never fallen apart, but always together. Even when you are physically away for business reason or whatever, emotionally, spiritually, ethically, you are always together. That's what we hope. And then may all of the blessings be upon you, and then enjoy your life with greater success and a brighter future. Thank you very much. Okay.